Thanks, everyone. Blessings and welcome. I miss y'all. I really have. Um, I know I say that all the time, but it's true. It really is truly true. When I'm not here with y'all, it's because, life goes on, right? But it isn't for the lack of not missing you. It's not for the lack of not thinking about you. It's just that, life goes on and things happen in life that sometimes we have no control over. I had so many different topics that I wanted to name this, or titles, I should say, that I wanted to name my topic. Um, but I had to be true to self. And right now, it seemed like every day I was coming in encounters with thinking about freeing ourselves, rather it's with politics, our family, relationships, our careers, you know, friends. We're always trying to free ourselves either for time to make with those people, time to get things done, sometimes even time to get away, you know? And I've been battling with myself on how to free myself up on all those issues. Rather it's with the relationship, rather it's with family. I don't have a career, y'all know that much. I'm a stay-at-home wife. Um, many things that I think people are struggling with. And a lot of times we may not even want to talk about it, or we may not have anyone to talk about it to, right? So I'm always trying to think of what's going on in our real true life, our real true life, things that matter. I would like to think that our lives matter on an individualized um, situation. Not every day is a happy day. We all are struggling with something, and I can't even phantom in my mind to think of someone who's not. But if there is someone out there that isn't, all I can say is always is God bless you, you know. But I sometimes I feel like to go through struggles and hardships, or the storms, as I like to call them, it's kind of a good thing. Because if nothing else, it builds you up, it makes you stronger, it shows your strength. And one thing for certain, I know that it does, I hope that it does, is bring us closer to God or our spiritual self. Whoever that spiritual God or name you call him or it, is by your choice. I knew a girl once, I shouldn't say once because she's still here on this earth, but in my way past, I can't remember the exact religion that she practiced, but she had explained to me that in their culture, because I believe her dad was black, but her mother was like Korean or something to that origin. And she said that like they would have a spiritual of a tree, the clouds, the grass. It's like their God was whatever I guess they choose to. And I can't remember exactly how she explained it because, like I said, this is probably like a good 15 years ago, that we had this conversation. And so she's like, explaining her religion to me. And she says where she come from on her mother's side, they, you know, their God was whatever they woke up in, it could be a tree, like I said, the grass, the birds, whatever. So when you think about what's that spiritual self of you to get you to that next point, to that next purpose, to that next, you know, whatever it is you need to get to. If you're not mentally there, or you have these bondage or storms or relationships that's holding you back, how can you free yourself? So, I took a couple of days to myself this week to really try to understand where my freedom comes in at. Like I said, a lot of people are talking about politics, and I asked myself, now, of course, I do understand that we have that right to vote. It's our right, you know, and we're trying to figure out the best candidate to vote for. I'm not going to go into my personal thoughts on it, but does it? Yes, it matters. It does matter. I'm not going to say does it matter. Yes, it matters, because when you think about it, there are, legislations and laws that can be made that can be beneficial to a lot of people. But when I think about a lot of people, what escapes from my mind and my hope is our people. Because it's not a lot of times, we go through this thing every 4 years, every 2 years of trying to make a change and make a difference, to say, here we are, do you see us? How is this going to benefit us? When are they going to acknowledge us? And they never do. They make promises, right? But do we benefit from it as a whole? Sometimes I feel like we don't, because we still are where we are, right? So that's not to say I'm not going to vote, because if I don't vote, then I can't complain about anything or be mad about anything in the future, right? So I will vote. I will vote. But do I think it makes a difference? My vote makes a difference on the count. Do our votes make a difference for our people? You know? But I'm getting off subject here. So when I think about freeing myself, I had to do some real deep soul searching about many of things. And I'm trying to figure out, by freeing myself, because one of my issues about, if I say I'm going to be free to do certain things my way, or to think of my mental, I don't know if it's the devil trying to play with me to keep me back, or is it just where my heart is at with things, right? Because I'm not a selfish person. So sometimes we can feel like if we change something about ourselves to better ourselves, we're being selfish, right? Because there may be some people out there who we believe need us for something. And the only way that they really get anything out of us is if we stay who we are. Because our minds and our thoughts and our actions are always going to be about them. So we say we don't want to be selfish, but who are we being selfish for? Towards ourselves, or towards someone else and their needs, or our needs? So I've been trying to figure out, how can we as people, as women especially, because everything that I wrote down on what I wanted to address, I realized, even though I want it to be about all, it's really about women, about, you know, mothers. Blessings, girl Mel. Thank you so much for joining me. Um, I struggle a lot as a mother and as a woman on how I decide to make changes in my life or if I should make a change. Because I'm always thinking about my family, right? I'm thinking about my husband. I'm thinking about my children and everybody else that goes down that line. My my sisters, my nieces and nephews, my cousins, so forth and so on. And it's not always about how you can help someone monetarily. Sometimes people need you in so many different ways as a listening ear, as a ride. I need a ride to the store. Can you take me to school? Can you pick up the kids from the daycare for me? There's so many ways that we are helpful to our family members as women, as mothers. And we don't have a problem with it, right? We enjoy doing that at times. But at what level do we say we're draining ourselves and we're not thinking about self first? And that's what, like I said, that's one of my issues in my life. I don't know how to make self free to be happy. I don't know how to make self free to just do what I want to do without feeling guilty. So I said, I wonder how many people struggle with this. Because a lot of times we think we're the only ones that's going through that storm, or we have these issues in life, or we feel in bondage of some type of addiction that we may have. Addiction comes in so many different forms. A lot of times you hear people say addiction, first thing you think of what? Drugs, right? There's addictions of drugs, gambling, sex, love, relationships, shopping. Everybody has an addiction to something. And the first thing we say, oh, I just love doing this. I just enjoy doing this. Or this gives me a peace of mind. And that could be true. But what do they say an addiction is, right? It's when you excessively doing something and it's taking control of your life. It could be even, hindering how you think, how you move, decisions that you make, because you're not thinking clearly for what's supposed to be the freedom of self, right? Because most of the time we're thinking freedom of others, helping of others, fixing of others. So I know when I started this channel, I talked about that I wanted to speak on things that everyday people go through. And sometimes they don't feel like they have a safe space to speak on it or to ask a question about it or to seek help about it. So in those days that I was sitting back and reflecting and trying to make some decisions in my life on how to be free and bring out what I said I was trying to bring out for me, because this was supposed to be my safe haven, to get things out that I needed to get out to help me to heal. I needed y'all to help me to heal. Because like I said, we all going through something. It's just a matter of, do you have someone there? Do you have the resource? Do you have the foundation to have someone by your side to listen, a shoulder, an ear? I think about, like I said, there's so many things going on in the world. I was going to have some clippings, but I don't know if I wanted to share it, but I was like, oh, that's taking the easy way out. No, it's not that it was important, but it was amazing. And I forgot to look it up. I think what's the last tornado storm that's going through? Is that Debbie? Is it called the Debbie? And I guess we got a little taste of it, which was not weird because a lot of times we don't get nothing crazy around here. We get a lot of, trees falling up, maybe flooding, stuff like that. We don't get earthquakes or, you know, real tornado type things. We might get a hit of it. It went past us. But evidently we had some kind of storm last night. It rained really bad 2 days ago. It rained pretty nice yesterday. But it was this wind gushing and gushing. And I could hear while I was watching my movies last night. And I'm like, oh, wow. Well, it's a little storm going on. But when I woke up this morning and I turned on, the Ratchet News channel I talk about um, on Facebook, shout out to Matt Mora. A whole bunch of people had posted all these trees that had fell over. And it was in different locations of our town. But the one street, Berry Hill Street, it was like maybe a whole 2 blocks. All these trees, and I'm talking about from the root, the trees had came down. And you can see the roots of the tree. I was going to show that. And it was like all these trees had fell. Over where my sister lived at, there were some trees and winds and craziness going on in the sky. She showed it when it was starting. She did a video. So I'm going to start with that and then do the aftermath of what happened this morning, what we woke up to. Excuse me. But it was, like I said, numerous different locations that this wind, this storm had ripped through our little city in the midst of the night while we were sleeping, and we woke up to trees everywhere on top of cars and in the middle of the street blocking the whole roads. So when we think about the storms of our lives, that's kind of what it is. Sometimes you might just have a branch that might, fall off a tree. You might have a roof that collapsed. But what happens when you get so overwhelmed with one storm after another storm and you have nobody to go to, no one to talk to, no one that understands? What do you do, right? And I found myself at that point. Even though it could have been many people I could have reached out to. But sometimes you feel like I gotta put my big girl panties on and figure this out and get it right, or try to get it right, right? Because then it comes down to, if you don't get it right or try to get it right and put in a plan in place to work on a goal to getting it right, that's when your mental start working in this, right? If your mental start working in this, and eventually you're going to get weaker and weaker and weaker, and you're going to break. So it's always a time of self-freedom. And you say, Cookie, how can you do that? If I take my self-freedom and think about my mental, to build a foundation, to rebuild myself, that's taking away time from my family, my husband, my kids, my work. And I got to be there for them, right? That's what you tell yourself. But if you don't take care of your mental and your spirit and your foundations and work on those goals on how to free self, what's going to happen? You can't be there for nobody else. Girl Mel, you said sometimes you just have to sit in solitude and allow God to guide you. Prayer, meditation, feed your soul with positive energy. Exactly. And that's exactly what I had to do. But that's why I say I'm working. I'm a project at work. Because while I was trying to do that, Girl Mel, I felt guilty. I felt guilty, and I'm sitting here telling myself, even though I know this was for good for me, right? Because good for me mean good for you. Good for me mean good for my family. Good for me means good for my husband. Good for me means good for my children. But yet here I am saying I'm doing this for me and for mine, but I'm feeling guilty. Because if I don't reach out and contact someone that I feel may need me, then I'm failing them, right? Girl Mel, you said, I get it. I feel guilty if I shut down too. My kids, husband, and grandkids need me. Right. So that's why I'm trying to understand, what do we do as women? Because we're the nurturers, right? And I'm not saying that men don't love their families and their kids and their wives, but I think it's a difference on how they move, right? You got some men that are very sensitive and they got those emotions like we do. You know, that they're go getters to be the provider, the protector, and they want to make sure their wife is happy and their kids is safe and don't need for anything. I'm trying to figure out, do they go through, and maybe you have an answer for me, girl Mel. When you say, you know your husband and your kids need you and you feel guilty when you shut down and try to take time for yourself, do or have like I can speak of myself, and I'm gonna put an example. My husband can be a good provider. We have to take care of our mental health first, Cookie. I learned to step back and just let everyone know, hey, I need a moment. If you're not okay, they will not be okay. Okay, so when you take those moments and you let them know you're taking that moment, um, are they do they what's the word I'm looking for? Do they respect that? Do they understand that? I know I've seen you around, girl Melanie. I'm not sure. Do you hit the panel a lot? I'm gonna put this just in case if you choose to. You don't have to, no pressure. Um, but if you would like to, that's fine. If not, I understand. Um, you said we had to take care. Did I read that already? Okay, yeah, I read that one. Um, I I think that people do. Sometimes people do understand when you need that time, right? But what I'm trying to understand is it only that they understand if they don't need you at that time?
Hey, pretty lady, can you hear me?
I can.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, sweetie?
I'm good. It's been a minute since I've been on YouTube. I said, look at Cookie Live. Let me go say hi. I'm not
Oh,
doing nothing.
thank
I'm
you. I
sitting
so
in the house today.
appreciate you.
You're speaking on some stuff I can relate to. So, yeah, so let me get the link. It's better than talking through all that typing. I get exactly where you're coming from with the taking a break and if they respect it. In the beginning, it was hard. Like, my family would go bananas if I wasn't answering my phone or reaching out and keeping in touch and letting everyone know how I was doing. And I've pretty much been this way since I lost my mother when I was 19. That
Uh-huh.
was hard. You know, your mama is your rock. That's your everything. So from that point, I'm like, I know everybody's saying they got you, they'll be there for you and this and that, but I didn't want to depend on that. I didn't feel like I could. I mean, I knew they meant well, but I was like, all I got is me and the Lord and my babies, and that's how I'm gonna work this out. And so I'm really to myself. The taking time to yourself in the beginning, it was hard. Like I would at first I would shut down and I wouldn't say anything. So then I got people popping up at my door. You're not answering your phone. What's going on? And I'm just like, I didn't want to answer and I didn't want to tell them what I was going through. So then I would start saying, hey, if y'all don't talk to me for a week or so, I'm fine. I just need a minute to get my mental right. And I would just tell them, I've always been in, since I lost my mother, I've always done therapy and do whatever I needed to do to make sure that I was okay. Just recently, I don't ever visit my mother's grave. And I went one weekend. I don't like
Mhm.
to go there because I don't like the state of mind that it puts me in. So I needed
Right.
several days after that. Honey, I had saw all my kids and talked to them. 2 days went by and I hadn't talked to them or answered my phone. My son pulled up and was like, and he was like, Mama, you usually say something when you need a break. I turned my ringer and stuff back on and checked my messages. The kids, we have a group chat. We talk in every day. They like, my son was in there like, Mama got to the street lights come on, and then I'm pulling up. He wasn't playing. He pulled up, and I
Right.
was just like, he knew I went to my mother's grave, and he was just worried because his father passed. Like it's been 2 years since their dad died. He was like, I get it. He said, but my mom used to you saying something when you need a break. He was like, please try to let us know. Don't just go radio silent because my kids are used to talking to me every single day. But
Right.
and I feel guilty. You want to get yourself together, but you don't want to take yourself away from your family. But you have to because we got to be okay, or they're not going to be okay. You have to rest. You have to get that mental rest and recharge your batteries. That's what I call it. Recharge, resetting, recharging my batteries, and just taking a
Mhm.
moment to myself.
And I used to be that way, girl Mel, but it seemed like in these past few years, when I do that now, it's like people feel as though I'm being, I wouldn't say
Panhandle.
selfish, but they're like, oh, she's in her space right now. We're just going to leave her go. But really, I don't want you to leave. I want you to come and ask me what's going on because there's so much that has been going on, and y'all know this has been going on. So why leave me to myself? You
Are
know what I'm
these
saying?
people that are comforting to you, or that you want to ask you that, or are they part of the issue where you need feel like are they draining you or are they giving you life? It just
A
depends
little
on
bit of
who the people
both.
are.
It's
If
kind
they're
of
draining you, you definitely need to and see people that were draining me. It's crazy. Like I'm the youngest. My siblings are always going through something. I have two older brothers, and they really get mad if I take personal space. But I'm just like, y'all deal with y'all shit in one way, and I deal with mine in another. And when I'm dealing with me, it's me and the Lord working it out and battling it out. Because sometimes other people's energy will interfere with that. I'm an empath, so I feel everything. If the energy
right.
is not right, I'm not right. So I
That's,
will quickly back away. And of course, I've had friends be like, oh, I'm acting funny and this and that. Just because I don't want to tell you all my business doesn't mean I'm acting funny. I'm a better me when I take care of me. That's what that is.
mhm.
If you can't respect that, then the hell with you. You have to set your personal boundaries. Some
Well,
people will respect it and some people don't.
that's where I'm kind of confused at because I do tell everything. I have to tell everything because if I don't, it makes me sick. It feeds into
Okay.
my addiction. And after 25 years, been like 25, 28 years, I have to be true about how I'm feeling. I have to say what's on my mind. And people look at it as that either you want sympathy or, oh my God, why is she telling me this? And I have to, because if I keep it in, it makes me sick.
Got
It
you.
gets in my
Yeah,
head,
I'm
right?
opposite. I don't like to tell everybody everything. It's okay to be that way. If you have to let it out, you have to let it out. But just make sure that you're speaking to someone that genuinely cares and that's going to receive it and try to be positive and help you through what you're going through. It's one thing to talk, some people just want to know that you're going through something and they don't really care.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not cool. It's a lot of people out here. Everybody don't care what you're going through and everybody is not genuine. And that's just life. I had to tell my kids that don't put all your business, don't share all your information and all that stuff, whatever, because everybody is not a true friend.
Right.
They're
And
just
I mean, I
not.
can say, with my family. I can tell. Like I said, they may not want me to be saying everything that I say, but I have to say it. And that goes for however I'm feeling about what's going on in the family. Like if it's wrong, it's wrong. If it's right, it's right. I'm not gonna sit there and be holding my tongue if you're wrong about something.
Right.
Just because I want to spare your feelings. And I have girlfriends that I speak with, and they're pretty good with me. It's just I have always been like when you talk about your mom. I was trying not to get too emotional because I lost my mom when I was 8 years old.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she
It's
was only
hard.
she was
That
only
pain stays with
23.
you forever. Ooh, she was
Yeah,
young. My mother was
she was.
45 when she passed.
Yes, and so I still, think about her a lot and everything. And my family knows that that hit me really hard when I was young, and it still bothers me. I still think about it because I wonder would my life have been different. So when you think about those past baggage that you deal with, and then you got the present baggage, there's a lot that goes on throughout people's days. And I'm a true believer in like instead of hating on each other, being there for each other, build each other up. Trying to,
Right.
I try to stay positive even though I go through what I go through. But at some
Right.
point, we all did I lose you?
Mm-mm. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying. Okay, my screen just went black, and that never happened before. I thought I lost you. Like I got my
I'm
charger
here.
on, it's charged up. I wanted to make sure. Um, and I just have been trying to figure out, I speak to one, someone that I talk to on a regular from YouTube, and I was trying to figure out if this is my calling to the point of even if it's not for a large amount of people, this is something that I got enjoyment out of.
Yeah, stick with it. Do with it. I kind of been off because I'm just like all the bickering and fighting. You can only laugh so much. After a while, like I said, I'm an empath. I feel all of that negative energy. I don't need that. I have other shit going on. And I just was like, ain't nothing like interesting going on. So I just haven't been on YouTube in a while.
Exactly, and that's why I
I
took
just
a
happened to
break
be
because it
home
was
Friday
draining.
night on a Friday night today. So I was like flipping through my tablet and stuff. I said, let me click it. I just happened to see you was live. So I said, I
Oh.
didn't, I used to enjoy talking to you and DV and stuff. Y'all are funny together. I'm like, it's good when we can all come together and laugh and have a good time. I'm just like, why the hell is everybody mad and going back and forth and just I don't get it. It's not that serious.
And that's what I
Like
like to do. I like to laugh and have fun. I like to
and
have
even talking
serious
about real
conversation,
stuff,
real
families and
stuff.
like stuff that's really going. People are going through mental health issues and just different things. The world is crazy right now. There's so
And I
much
think
going on.
COVID had a lot to do with that.
Oh my
Um,
goodness, yes, that's
you
when I
know,
really was on YouTube. We couldn't go anywhere, so honey, that's when I got trapped. I had to pull myself back. I was all up in it. I'm like, how did I come on here to keep up with the case and got involved in all kind of foolishness? I'm just like, I
yeah,
gotta do me. Fuck the team
right.
and all that other crap shit. Y'all do y'all, I'ma do me. I'm team me. I don't have time. I'm not gonna pick up everybody's anger and energy because one person mad and 1,000 people want to be mad because they friend mad. We grown. I'm almost 50. Fuck all that.
Yes, that's how
That's
I
just
am.
not
I
me.
get along with every. I don't have, as far as I know, I don't have any enemies. I don't know who likes me, who don't like me. I don't care. I know I like everybody.
Right. Don't care. Don't care because it's not, it's like I could care less. Fuck all that. They mad at you. What the fuck? I'm gonna get mad at them because they mad at you. That's your enemy. It's not mine. Period. I'm not a follower. I'm sorry. Not like that. Mm-mm. I'm gonna talk my shit because that's what I want to talk, and that's gonna be the end of it. I'm not gonna talk it for 5 years after the fact. That's some bullshit right there.
Yeah, even if, I mean, the most you'll hear me say is blessings to everybody. Like that's all I gotta say. Blessings.
Right. Life is too short.
Like
I'm a,
that. I don't know if I can say yes, no, or nothing. Just blessings. Don't want to
thank
laugh at
you.
the wrong time.
Look, blessings, bless your heart. Oh, like seriously,
Yeah.
that is
But
something.
but I did, like I said, I just was thinking about how, how do we free ourselves? Because like I said, I want to free myself from the negativity. I want to free myself from the guilt of thinking that it's not okay or it is okay to think about me sometimes.
It's always okay. You have to train your mind to do that. It took me a long time. I will say, what am I? I'm 48 now. I will honestly say for the last 40, I'm gonna say for 40 years, I feel like I'm not gonna count me being a baby, but there's a thing called living and there's a thing called surviving. For a
Hmm.
while, I was just in survival mode. Like
Right.
I didn't think about me. I was raising my kids, and that was my number one priority. I needed to go get some, seek help about a lot of stuff. I had
Hmm.
anxiety really bad. I had depression really bad. But I was like, I didn't want my family to worry me, and I don't feel like I was being a burden to them. So I'm like, I got one foot in depression and the other foot in, I got to keep going. I was depressed because I lost my mother. That's the person that brought me in the world. But I
Right.
couldn't allow myself to feel that because if I spiraled out, who was going to have my babies? My babies needed me.
Right.
So I couldn't do that. Well, now my babies are, what are they? 32, 29, 26, and 23. They're grown now. Everybody's out the house now. So it feels good to, of course, I still worry about them. They're my kids, but now they start to worry about me and they understand. And we just have a well rounded relationship and stuff, whatever. They're like, Mama, it's okay. Just communicate. That's funny. Your kids say, just communicate if you don't feel like talking or you need to take some time to yourself. As long as you let us know, we good. I'm
Now, do
like,
your
that is so
kids?
sweet.
You said they're grown now. You said they're how
They're
old
grown.
again?
They are, my oldest is 32. I have a 32-year-old daughter. My son will be 30 in November. My other daughter is 26 and my youngest is 23.
Oh wow! My oldest daughter is 32 as well, and my
Wow.
son is 30
That's
as
funny,
well.
yeah. My
Yeah.
son will be 30 in November.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and they, oh my God, I've been dealing with this since they graduated. Though their favorite thing is, "Mom, we're grown." They like, you know how if you,
Respect them when they say that because guess what? Do they have any kids yet?
well, my son and my daughter has one. My daughter has a son, a 4 year old. My
Okay.
son has a 7 year old, and him and his wife is expecting another one this September.
Okay. It's something about when these kids become parents, they look at us totally different, and the conversations with them are totally different now. Like my 26-year-old, she's pregnant now. She's expecting in October. My son has two daughters. I'm like, God gave you daughters for a reason. You better pay attention. Make sure you do what you're supposed to be doing, because they're gonna read you for filth. Trust me.
Right.
But yeah, they as they got older, they do like to say they grown, but they don't say that. They call instead of Googling, like them kids call me for everything. Mama, I got a bump right here. What you think this means? This will be in a group chat. One of the kids was like, "She is not a doctor," and then the other kids like, "Well, why do they say mothers? What's the phrase? Mothers know best or something?" She said, "I'm
Uh-huh.
like, y'all they are
Okay, you
crazy.
is lucky because
They
I'm
call
telling you, my
several
kids
times
still be
a
trying to tell me
day."
they grown, and they been
Yeah.
leaving that Google mess. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, they were like that in the beginning, but no, they communicate a lot. And I think that's because I communicated with them. I felt like when we were growing up as kids, it was do as I say, not as I do. And I don't feel like we had the open floor to where we could conversate as I allow my kids to speak and conversate with me.
Hmm.
They tell me any and everything. You get some people like, oh my gosh, your kid just said that in front of you. They're an adult. They're not being disrespectful, and I'm allowing them to express themselves. They're asking me for my input. I'm listening and I'm understanding. One of the biggest things that we had was I used to, from how I was raised, I would always try to tell them things, but I was not listening. So with all four of them, I learned to listen. That was one of their biggest things with me. Like, Mama, you need to
Excuse me.
listen and not always just tell us what to do. Bless you.
Right,
Not always tell us what to do or what you think we should do or how we should do it. We got to make our own mistakes. And they're right. They do.
right. That's
They
exactly
do.
what they told me. They're like, Mom, we need to live our own life and learn our own mistakes. And I said, yeah, but if I could, and maybe like
Try
you
to
said, I was
save us.
more talking than listening because
I
I
had
was
to
saying,
learn to
yeah,
shut the hell up and listen.
yes, I understand that, but if I can prevent you from going down that road, why not listen to me? You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Wow.
We do always want to save them, but again, guess what? They do have to bump their heads. They do have to make their mistakes. It's written, just like we're going to continue to make our mistakes. the biggest thing I always say, it's okay to make mistakes, but learn from them. Don't keep making the same mistakes
Right.
over and over. That right there is crazy. You now, how many kids do you have? Just a son
I,
and a daughter?
I have a son and a daughter, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They just turned 30 and 32 this year, April and March.
Oh, you got an Aries baby?
I got an Aries and a Pisces baby. Oh my
Oh
goodness.
my gosh.
Aries
I'm
is
an
the girl.
Aries and
Oh
my
my
oldest
goodness.
is a Pisces. We fire. I'm an Aries too. So I already know what you're dealing with. We are fire. And Pisces, oh my gosh, honey. My oldest is a Pisces. Lord have
Uh-huh.
mercy with her. Bless her heart with her sensitive self. I'm pretty cut and dry. So don't come to me whining at 32 like you're four. Talk to me like you've grown and let's figure this out like you've grown. I don't like all that whining shit. That drives me bananas.
Oh my
Like,
god.
seriously. She
So
be
she's a
getting so
March
mad at me.
baby?
Yeah, she was March the 20th. I'm a April. I'm a Aries. I'm an April Aries.
Early
But
April?
14.
Oh wow.
14.
See, my son is March the 14th. My daughter is April the 9th. Now
Okay.
my mother's birthday was April the 11th. And
Ooh, isn't that something? I know she was the bomb. My grandma's birthday was April the 12th. There's something about Aries that are just, we some beautiful people. Let me say,
I
we're
knew,
some beautiful people.
yes, and I know, she passed away when I was young, but I have so many good memories of her, and she was fire, like you said. But
Mhm.
she was the nicest person.
Until you
But
got on our
don't get her
bad
on the
side.
bad side. Right.
Yes. I don't like to get mad, so I don't associate my people that's gonna bring that out of me because once you piss me out, what do you mean 1 to 10? I'm going off the scale and I don't like that side of me. I don't, not at all.
Now you
I,
say your daughter's due in October. Do she have
mhm.
a date?
um October 26th. At first they said
Oh
November the 5th,
man.
but now they're saying October the 26th. I think she may go a little earlier than that. She is huge.
I hope so.
She's so
She could be a
short.
Libra. My girlfriend's birthday is the 26th of October, and mine's is the 14th. So me and her are the
I'm
best
just
friends for
praying it's
you.
not a Scorpio. We got enough of those. My son and my
Try to
husband
be
is
a
a
Libra. Libras
Scorpio.
are good
Oh my
people.
God.
Very balanced. I'm gonna hope for a Libra baby.
Pray for me. I just don't want a Scorpio. That's all. No Scorpios at all.
TV, I know your son's birthday is the same as my son's birthday because I had to remind you your son's birthday.
What he doing? Hanging
We in
out in
the
the
chat
chat? I
talking
keep
about his
hardly
son's
looking.
birthday is March the 14th. Him and my son has the same birthday.
Okay. Oh my goodness. So DB a Pisces, she be whining too. Pisces whine
No,
too dang on much.
DB's son is a Pisces,
A
but
Pisces.
DB's a Capricorn.
Okay, I have two of those. My last two girls that were born, their birthdays are January 9th and January the 10th. They are cool
Really?
as hell. Honey,
Oh
wait, check
my
this out. Cookie, my youngest 1 year, she came home from school. She was like, Mama, what was you doing around your birthday? My friends asked me, and some funny business was going on. I got pregnant in April a couple of times. So
God.
that, one was born in 98, the other one was 2001, a day apart, just separate years.
Oh,
But
how
yeah,
in the
thank
world did you work that one out?
honey, April. I tell you, Aries is something else. The spring be popping for me. I had to get them toes tied. I would have had a million kids.
Oh my God.
We would have
DB
had a
said,
million
go
kids.
girl now.
That is hilarious. I'm like, oh my goodness. Look, all I know is my birthday month. I don't remember. That's it. That is funny for your child to come ask my mama, what was you doing? I'm like, drop me like it's hot. That is funny.
Oh my
Girl, I
goodness.
do not hold back with them. If you hear my kids talking to me, you be like, oh my goodness, because every 5 seconds, Mama, I'm not, y'all grown, right? When
Hmm.
they next time they tell you they're grown, make sure you speak to them like they're grown. My kids be cracking up and swear I'm crazy. They are funny.
I used to try to, I never tried to be their friend to the point where I wanted them to understand I was mom, but you can come to me
Right,
with anything, you know?
right.
But when it came to like really,
Oh, especially when they were younger. No, we didn't become friends until they became adults. It
uh,
was what they call me, drill sergeant.
see, once
I'm
they
the
became adults, it came to that they thought they knew everything. There was nothing they could tell me. They had got the education they needed. They got their growing up that they needed, and now they're like out in the world. We got this, mom. And I'm like,
right.
can I
Honey,
tell
I'm
you
so proud of
something?
them. They so independent. You know how some people would complain, be like, "Oh, I'm not answering. My kids asking for something again." Cookie, my kids call me to ask me how I'm doing. They ask me, "Do I want anything?" They ask me, "Do I want to go anywhere with them?" That
Hmm.
is the best feeling of in the world.
Most
They
definitely.
have themselves. They are so independent and responsible.
Right.
I'm
Yeah,
so proud of them.
I know, and
I'm
that's what
so
I used to,
proud of them.
I tell them. I've been telling them for years, even before they graduated. I says, if I know that you can be responsible, take care of yourself, know how to keep your credit and check, all that good stuff, and I know you good
They credit better than mine.
today, and I will be okay because I know y'all okay. You
Mhm.
know, and
They
they.
credit is better than mine. You know, we play the game. You got to rob Peter to pay Paul to keep and do what you got to do. Now I'm getting myself on track, but I'm like, they have good credit, and that's because they. I'm gonna say I'm not gonna put that on me. My husband taught them about credit and put,
Mhm.
taught them about being, surviving and saving their money and investing and all that stuff. The kids, oh my goodness, stocks and different little stuff like that. I'm like, I'm more of a I'm not a traditional person like that. Most women like to shop and do certain things. That's not my thing. I'm not into all of that stuff. I can let my husband handle all the finances, and that doesn't bother me one bit.
Uh-huh.
I don't care. I'll work, but I just don't care about stuff like that. Yes,
Right.
I want my credit to be good and all of that stuff, whatever. But I listen. That's something that I learned from him too. We're totally opposite, but I've learned a lot from him. I'm
Right.
more about family and home. More
Right.
about family and home. Families are so divided nowadays, and for my kids to take trips with each other, spend time together, and to visit me as much as they do, I, I have siblings. They kids don't fool with them like that, and it
Mhm.
has something to do with them and their attitudes and stuff. You cannot, when you're raising children, you cannot be disrespectful talking to whoever you with their mother or whoever and think that your child is going to want to fool with you after that. Life doesn't work that way. They do have to forgive you, but you have to allow them to heal from everything that you inflicted on them.
Right.
And that's just the way it is. They're awesome. I know my daughter's gonna be a wonderful mother. They're great aunties with their. My son is the one that has two daughters,
Hmm.
so they're close. I have my grandkids all the time. They aunties get them like they congregate and make sure that they spend time with each other. Everybody sees everybody pretty much on a regular basis.
Right. That's what my son said because his wife doesn't want to know what the baby's gonna be. So
Well,
I said, well, I hope it's a boy. And he says, yeah. I said, don't you want a boy? You want a junior? He said he wouldn't name it a junior. He really don't like his
oh,
name.
what is his name, if you don't mind me asking?
His name is Don Ray.
John, you said John Lay?
Don Ray.
John Ray. Why
Yeah.
doesn't he like his name?
I don't know. He likes his middle name, but he does not like his first name. And I was like, "Oh my God, are you serious?" So he said, "Well, Mom, I don't know what they about, but he wants another girl." He said, "Because I know how to raise a girl." I said,
Oh,
"Boy, you want a boy? I
I
want a
had a
baby."
grandson first, but he was stillborn. That was my son had a boy first, but he was stillborn at 8 months, and then
Uh huh.
two girls came after. I think they're gonna try again. I said, "Watch, the Lord gonna give you another girl. I'm telling you. Might as well stop while you ahead."
That's what happened to my niece. She had a boy, and then she had another boy, and her husband wanted a girl. She wanted a girl, but they wound up getting another boy. I said, "Are
Another
y'all
boy.
done now? Or are you gonna try for that girl?" She said, "I think we're
Honey,
done."
my mom's friend had six girls trying for a boy. I said, "Oh heck no."
Oh Jesus.
It's funny. I have to honestly say, I never pictured myself having kids or getting married. So I can't say I wanted one versus the other. I was young as hell when I had my first child. So I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to do with you? The first
Uh-huh.
3 years I had help because my mother was here. But once she went, I was like, oh, this is on me now.
So you
It
say
was
you never imagine yourself with kids or being
no, I
married?
was mean. I didn't give a thing about boys and all that stuff in school at first. I got caught the hell up. My mama went to did what they had to do to keep us in the suburbs. Because when they moved us to the hood, I got tricked and caught up in the game. I'm dead ass serious. I'm urban but suburban. I'm like, what the hell? I'm
Oh
like,
my
this your fault. Don't get mad at me. Should have kept us where we was. I was sheltered. I
Oh,
was
that's
sheltered.
crazy because
All
I
of my
that's all
friends
I
was wild, but
thought
I was the one that got pregnant first.
about. Uh-huh.
I wasn't
Wow.
doing what everybody else was doing. I was not. Everybody was shocked I ended up pregnant. They're like, them little quiet ones. I'm like, what the hell ever. You know what? But now I tell my kids all the time, like, y'all was a blessing from God. I didn't give a dang about your daddy. And I didn't. At 15, how can you love somebody? You don't even love yourself at that age yet. You still trying to figure it
So
out.
so your children have the same. This is the
The
same.
first two, the oldest two do, and then the last two with my husband.
Oh, so how long
So
have you been married?
I've been married. It'll be 15 years in November, and we've been together 28 years.
Oh, God bless you. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I've been married 16 years. We just had an
Okay.
anniversary July the 26th.
Okay.
Um, but I've always wanted, I couldn't wait to have kids. And I think it was mainly because of my mother passing away at the age of 8, and I had a grandmother, and I only have really one real sister with my mother. I call my aunties and my uncle my brothers and sisters because, like I said, I was 8 when my mother
Okay.
passed away. So
And that's who raised you?
my grandmother, yes. So
Okay.
her two sisters and brothers, I was raised with them, and I think they're like 13 years older than me and 15 years older than me. Well, no, 'cause 13, 11, and 12. Because my mom was only 15 when she had me,
Okay.
which made my grandmother a young grandmother. She was 30 because my grandmother had my mom when she was 15. So my grandmother's only 30 years older than me.
You,
If she was still
okay.
alive, she would be 85.
My
You know, if
grandmother passed
my mother was
first
still
when I was
alive, she would be
16.
70. Yeah.
Okay.
And so when my mother passed away, and me and my grandmother, I don't know why we just didn't click real good. My
Now,
sister,
this was your mother's mom?
yes. And I
Okay.
think I'm not gonna she just had I think she was kind of the way I see it now as an adult, my mother got pregnant with my sister when she was
Was she
13,
strict on you?
14. She took that child and raised it as her own so my mother can continue to school because she was very smart. And now the story I haven't gotten clear all these years, she wound up getting pregnant again with me. And then my mother's
Okay.
grandmother sent her to New York.
And kept you?
And no, I was born in New York because we're from down
Okay.
south. She sent her to New York because I don't know if she was embarrassed that she had this child and had another baby, or if she was, I don't know what the story is behind that. But she wound up going to New York, and I was born in New York, and she went to school up there. So
Wow.
when we moved to Pennsylvania, my mom wanted my sister back, and my grandmother would not give her back. She's like, "You're still young." 'Cause, by then
Did
she's
your
like,
sister know the truth, who her real mother
uh-huh.
was?
Yeah, she knew who.
Okay.
So my grandmother kind of raised my sister and my mom. I spent time with my mom. And
I better write you a book, honey, because I'm sure about to start. I
oh
always
my God,
journal.
baby,
You have a story to tell.
you have no idea. And I had started doing that before I started this YouTube thing. And because it's so emotional, my story, I need like what they call it, a ghostwriter.
Yeah.
Because I get so emotional, I can't
But
continue to
it's okay.
write.
That's part of your healing process. You have to allow yourself to feel all of that stuff. I learned that through therapy. The good and the bad, embrace them both. It'll only make you stronger.
Right. I agree with
It'll
that.
only make you stronger.
Yeah, but I was like, I can't wait to have my own child to love the way I want to love it, and it'll love me back, And it took. I didn't have a young pregnancy though. I got pregnant at 23.
Girl,
But
that was my worst fear for my kids. You couldn't get me to go anywhere. I did not want any of them to be teen parents. So I feel like I was a lot harder on my oldest child. Honey, I was so hard on her. She
mhm,
32. She just lost her virginity at 31. She
mhm.
said I scared her. I was like, now I wanted you to be safe and not a teen parent, but damn, honey. 31. I'm like, she's not married. She, this her. She had dating and stuff, but of course, the little horny boys would break up with her because she wasn't, out there. So I'm like, it's okay when the right one comes along, and when you feel comfortable, you'll do whatever. Honey, 31. I cannot believe she went that long. But
Right.
I'm proud of them. And like I said, my first daughter just now getting pregnant at 26. I'm like, y'all made it past 15. Y'all made it past. Y'all graduated. Y'all done did some college. I'm proud of every last one of them, even the boy. Now my thing with him is he has two kids with the same girl. I'm like, don't be out here getting all these hoes pregnant. Not trying to deal with all these different females. I
Oh,
love his kid's mother. He's not married yet or whatever. I don't know if they're considering his girlfriend is actually like 2 years older than he is, but still, I'm like, don't be out here. I have other siblings from my father. My mother just had the three of us, and it's hard when you got siblings over here, over there.
right.
I'm like, don't be that one. Don't be like your daddy. I had his dad's first, him and his sister, his dad's first kids. That man went, got married like 2 or 3 times and had all these kids. I'm like, that's on him. We were teenagers. That was nothing. Like nothing. He was gone when my mother passed away. He was a thorn in her side because when she was gone, he was gone.
Wow.
He was gone. I was not trying to deal with him. He was gone before she was gone, but it was sealed in cement. When they was lowering that casket, I'm like, don't look this direction. I'm not fooling with you because I didn't
Oh.
like him like that. I did not. Girl, he cheated so tough on me. The only proof he got that he was with me is our son and our daughter. He was
Mhm.
out here in these streets. It was not, it just, that wasn't, I don't know. I was very embarrassed to be pregnant. I was super embarrassed. And my grandmother was the one that made me feel, my mother was mad at first, but she came around. But my grandmother was non judgmental. She was very loving. She talked to me, and I was devastated when she passed. My daughter was born in March of 1992, and my grandmother died in August of 1992 from cancer. We
Oh,
knew she was going. The doctors gave her 6 months to a year. She lived
right.
long enough to hold my baby, and a few months after that, and she
That's a blessing. Yes. That's one thing that, I think about a lot that my mother, like, she didn't get to see me and my sister grow up, let
died.
alone to know that she has these grandkids because my sister has 3 kids.
But
And
she
I
see. You don't think she see? They watching us,
oh,
girls. They with us everywhere we go.
no. Because even with my grandmother, she was able, to see my kids and she was able to see my first grandchild. Now, with my other sister, she did get to see all 3 of.
It does make you sad though that they're not here in the physical. And I think just because I had a granddaughter that was just born. She's 3 months today, and then I have another granddaughter on the way in October. And I just kind of been thinking about life and wishing my mother was here in the flesh for me to talk to. And I think I was just really, really just I don't know. I just something told me to go visit her grave, and I'm just like it messed me up. I had to reset because I just don't go there. I connect with her through music and memories and just different things. The
Right.
grave is just, it's so, I don't know, it's so final and it's just, I don't know, it puts me back to the day that we were there to lay her to rest. And I
Hmm.
just don't like that feeling.
Yeah, because I
That
remember
is just,
as a child, I would bug my family members to take me to my mother's grave. And I would get mad if they didn't, and when I got older and was able to take myself, and when I went, it was so hard. And it made me realize maybe that's why they couldn't do it. Because then I just
mm-hmm.
wanted my mom, I just want to be close
It
to my
is
mom.
hard.
I didn't understand the emotional that the family was going through to have to take me to see her, you know.
Right.
'Cause once I
It's
got
kind
old
of
enough,
like, do you feel like you holding your breath and you just try not to let all of that out? Because through all of these years, I still feel like I'm holding my breath. I feel like if I allow myself to feel how I genuinely feel about her being
it's gonna
gone,
break you.
yes. And that I don't want to do because there's so many people that I can say I'm blessed. So many people deal with that with drug addiction, alcohol addiction. And unfortunately, I have siblings that have dealt with it that way. And that brings me down. I
Right.
don't like to see that. I'm like, there's always a better way. You know, when you sober up, that you're still going to feel the same way that you was feeling before you did all that stuff and put all that stuff in your body.
Right.
Life is, you have to allow yourself to feel. It's okay to have an occasional drink and do what you do, but you cannot do that to self medicate.
Right.
I
And
say
it's
deal
just
with it.
hard for me. It's so hard for me to understand how people sometimes judge people for the struggles or, even like I said, addiction,
I
gambling,
understand
or
it.
you don't know what's going on in someone's life or what has happened in someone's life that maybe
Right.
caused it's no excuse and they should get help. We all understand that. But sometimes that's the only way people can deal because there's so much pain. And like you said, they think that is keeping them
And
from
then you have to pull yourself away from the people. And a lot of times, those people be the people that you love. And in my situation, the people that I love, I had to pull myself away. I can't watch you destroy your life and be toxic.
right,
Don't call me when you're drunk and under the influence. And that doesn't make me feel good. And I
right,
know it's not about me, but I should not have to be exposed to your weakness at this time. I can pray for you, but don't, like I said, I was going through anxiety and depression. I didn't want to be a burden to anybody else, so I didn't tell anybody else. And when the burden got too heavy to carry, guess what? I looked into grief counseling. I looked into a therapist.
right,
I've been doing that since she's been gone. And that's what helped me. God and therapy. You don't
right.
have to abuse your body and use drugs. And you're only as weak as you tell yourself you're weak as. You
Hmm.
know, we're not the same. We're not all built the same way. But I believe God loves us all and He gives us the strength. It's a choice. As a
Yeah,
kid, we don't have choices. But when you become an adult, every choice you make is yours.
right.
Choose right, especially if you got people that love you and looking up to you. You don't
Because
want to
that's
inflict that on your children or your family members. I don't.
right. That's one thing I will always remember and be glad my grandmother instilled in me. And it used to make me mad growing up though, because I felt like she was saying that so that she wouldn't have to deal with me or be close to me. She would always tell me I was strong. Whenever I said, "Why don't you do this?" or "Why won't you help me?" She's because you're strong, you can handle it.
Even strong people break
Yeah,
down because I
like
get told
like
that too.
my sister, you can handle it. You're strong,
Strong
and
people break down too. It's just they don't expect us to, but we do.
yeah,
And it's okay.
yeah.
It's totally okay.
Like I said, I've gone through therapy about so many things, and it's helped me get to where I need to be at. And I even I had stopped about 3 years ago. I stopped going, and my auntie. When I say sisters, I mean my aunties. I call them my auntie sisters, and my real sister. They were just telling me a couple of days ago, "Have you thought about going back to therapy?" Because I was just telling them I'm so drained. I'm just at
Yeah,
this
therapy
standstill.
is great. We need that. You know what, Cookie? I'm gonna just say this because I know you said you like telling people stuff. This platform that you're creating and talking about it, we should talk about these things because a lot of people are going through stuff and a lot of people don't like to come forward. But therapy, the thing I love about it, you're talking to someone, what you tell them is between you and that person.
Right,
You're getting it all out and you're going on with your day. I mean, we know how to handle it, but sometimes you have to put it somewhere and leave it there.
right.
Grief is a forever process, so it hits you when you least expect it.
Oh
There's
my,
no time stamp on it.
yes.
There's no time stamp on it. And like the last 6 months of the year are always the craziest for me, like the winter months, because it's dark, it's gray, it's cold. If it's snow and you got to be stuck in the house, the holidays ain't the same. Honey, my grandma was the glue. It seemed like, why is it when your grandmothers get up out of here, the family want to start acting crazy and everybody want to start going their separate ways?
Yeah, because even when my grandmother passed away in 2018, it seemed like the family just kind of start going their own different ways. They start moving down south. Everybody's in Florida. Someone's in South Carolina. Someone's in Georgia. And I'm like, everybody's moving away because she's gone. So now it's like
Mhm.
everybody's doing that family chat thing. Thanks to
Right.
COVID, we, start doing that. And then they start moving and after COVID cleared. And I'm like, what is going on? It's like we're all over the place. I mean, we know we're just a phone call away,
Right.
but it's not the same. It just doesn't feel the
It's not. I miss how family was before my grandmother passed. But you know what? The things she did, I do with my kids, and we
same.
get together. It don't matter what everybody else is doing in the family. Like New Year's Eve, I told you how old my kids are. Who the hell would want to think? Who the hell would think that the kids that age would want to spend New Year's Eve with their parents?
Right.
Honey, every year they're here, their friends are here, and we having a good time bringing in the New Year.
Right.
I'm a little sad this year because my daughter, her baby won't be 2 months yet. You know, they can't get their shots until they're 2 months. COVID is going around, so I don't think we will all get together on New Year's Eve or holidays because she doesn't want to get the baby sick. And I'm like, that's okay. We'll start it right back up once you do. And when you feel safe, bring her around everybody. But you
So do
have to,
you
your
think
nucleus.
through another COVID storm?
I don't think that we'll go through it as bad as we did in 2020. That was awful. Oh my goodness. I hate COVID because COVID took my father away from me. He had diabetes as an underlying health condition. So when he got COVID, he went to the hospital and he never came home.
Oh,
I mean, I didn't go to the hospital. My brother went up there because we couldn't go in his room. My brother took pictures. He had to look at him hooked up to all of this stuff through a window. And I have those pictures. The next time I saw my father was in a casket. That was so horrible.
right.
COVID sucks. I'm like, oh my goodness, so many people lost their lives, and I feel like they put that virus out here on purpose. I don't care what nobody say.
Because I got through it and then I caught it this past December. And
Did
I
you
was like,
get it? Did you get the shots?
yeah, I had got the shots and everything. So I was like, what the heck? Like, how
I
did I
got it
get
too.
through it? And now I got it. And a couple
I
of months
was
ago, my neighbor had it. So I'm like, is this coming back? I went to the pharmacy yesterday to pick up my prescription, and the pharmacy man had his mask on. Go to the doctor, they still wearing it. So I'm just like, okay, if something going to happen. If something going on that we don't know about yet, they waiting
I
for the
don't
next
know.
president
Did
to
you
come.
have a bad case when you had the COVID? When you had
No, no, I was good. The worst was it that it was just this cough,
COVID?
and I had a little bit of breathing, but that's because I have a heart murmur.
Okay.
And but other than that, no, I just knew something wasn't right.
I
And my
had two
eye, I
vaccines
got
because I have asthma and I was
I
so
got a
afraid of catching it.
like red eye, and like my
Oh,
one eye
okay. Okay.
was bloodshot red, and
Oh,
that's what I
wow.
was like, what's going on in my eye? And I took the test and sure enough. And it was Christmas time. I was at my son's house celebrating it, and I walked in. I had my mask on because I thought I was just sick.
Mhm.
And my son's wife came in and was like, "Did you take a COVID test?" I was like, "No, I don't have COVID. I just got a cold." So she goes running upstairs. She comes back and gets the COVID test. She come back. She's like, "Oh my god! Oh my god!" So my grandbaby's like, "Gigi got COVID," and she had this little. She got this microphone that had got her, and she's like, "Gigi has COVID. Everybody stay away."
Oh
So
my
everybody in the
goodness.
house knew I had COVID. So I was gonna leave, but my son's like, "No, mom, just stay over here." In the
Honey, my youngest daughter was the last kid before she moved out. She had kept catching COVID. Ooh, I was getting so mad at her, but I was thanking God that she was beating it. I'm like, I'm mad at you and praying for you at the same time to stay the hell away from me. I would send her meals by her door. I was
Hello,
spraying them,
did I say her name
spraying
right?
them kids. Who was that?
Pola? Am I saying it right?
Is it, or is
Hello,
it payola?
Paola.
Payola or something?
Blessing Paola.
Hey,
Yeah.
we got some new people
Vitamin.
in the chat.
What'd you say, sweetie?
I said you got some new people in the chat. What have y'all been doing? Like I said, this is my first time catching
Me-
you.
I am so happy that you decided to join me. Please tell your friends. Like I said, I had a nice little. I guess I never got over. I think probably 20 in the chat, but they do go and look at the views. I get pretty good views.
Guess what, Cookie? Quality, not quantity.
I know.
Quality, not quantity. Don't let that deter you. Keep doing you. You never
Yeah,
know.
so I know I'm probably boring. People don't want to hear this.
Don't pay
Like you said
attention.
earlier,
Keep
they want
going.
all that other stuff. But I'm doing what I know is
If
needed.
it's meant for your channel to continue to grow, it will in due time. Don't even
Right.
sweat that. Don't pay attention to those numbers. Don't mean nothing. Because of course people want to. If we all look at ratchet stuff sometime and want to do the hype, it's just how much you want to pay attention to. I
Right.
like I said, in my absence of not paying attention to this particular sector and YouTube channels, I'm looking at other stuff. There's some really cool, positive channels and stuff out there.
Right. Right. I go
This
around and
really
watch
is.
a little bit of everybody.
Shit,
Um,
YouTube started getting like Jerry Springer to me. I'm like, oh, I can't click on, see the title, like,
I was so
okay,
comfortable.
not today. And I done heard all this stuff before. Like, for real, you get woke out. Mm-mm.
I know.
Okay.
I said I can't. I mean, girl, man, let me tell you, and I'm telling you the truth. A couple of weeks ago, it got so bad that every time I cut on my YouTube and was listening, I felt like I mean the room started spinning. I couldn't
Spinning.
breathe,
Yes.
and I was like, "Oh no, I gotta shut it down," because it was taking. I didn't like you said. I feel it ain't got nothing to do with who I like or don't like, or who's
Hmm.
saying what. The things that were being said hurt me to my heart that people could be so mean and cruel. Like, no, like I don't care. I just couldn't understand it. And I
I
was
just
feeling
don't
like
feel like anybody on here is better than the next person. And for us to be going through what we going through with, I'm not into politics, but I'm like, our culture is going through so much. Why
right,
don't y'all try coming together instead of separating? Every time I see the news and somebody in our culture kills another person in our culture, it pisses me off so bad. You're mad when the cops is killing them, but what about when your own people is doing it?
right. And that's what I said.
That
We
pisses
always
me
talk about
off.
who don't have respect for us and how they treat us. We treat each other bad.
Thank you. Why don't everybody start like, can we do better as a culture before you start pointing fingers at every damn body else? I'm
Yeah,
like, we are our own worst enemy, and I hate that. I hate that. It's horrible. I love everybody. You know what I don't love? I don't love evil.
evil. Right.
I don't love evil. I can get along with everybody. If you own some fuck shit, I can sense it, and I don't fool with you.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
And
It
that's why
doesn't mean that I don't think that I'm better than you. I just know that I can
I
do
can't.
better than you when it comes to that. I don't have to stoop to that level. It's crazy. We
Yeah.
all got the cut up juice in us. I got a switch. It's on and off. When I cut up when I choose to, and I take accountability
Right.
for my shit. I'm not going, well, so and so said this. No, I called you a motherfucker because that's what I felt like saying at the time. Like, like I jumped on Eddie's channel one night. Who was that on there? New Black Panther or something? Oh my goodness. I know I got on his nerves, but he was just saying a bunch of stuff. I'm like, come on now.
Oh
I
yeah.
know I, yeah.
He's under
He just
my
be talking some
he's
slick
like
stuff.
a trigger to me. I cannot
Eh,
control myself when that man's around.
He, but you know, it's funny. So I ain't coming around when she around. Do you? You ain't bothered me. I just wanted you to know how I felt. Be who you gonna be, but I expressed how I felt, and that's it. I don't have to tell you 50 million times that I feel that way about what you saying. I
Right,
don't. His views are just totally crazy. I heard him one time. He was on Levi's channel. And they was having a good conversation and talking about he couldn't be with nobody that had kids. Okay, that's your preference and that's your choice, but don't knock nobody else because they can.
right,
My stepfather married my mother, and she had three kids that was not his. My husband married me. Before we got married, we had two kids, and then we got married. I already had two kids. He didn't have any kids until I started having his kids.
right. And I have to tell him all the time. It's not that I don't like you. I have nothing against you.
Yeah,
It-
he just needs to tighten up. Where's the like? Come on, women is looking for good black men, and you just ugh. You ratchet as hell. You are not a candidate. And I just want to talk to those sisters that is dealing with you because they are brainless, spineless. Ain't no way you got me messed up. I totally respect every damn body. But one thing I'm not gonna let you do is walk over me and call me this and you got three wives. If you need three wives, what's wrong with you?
mm-hmm.
It sounds like there's some insecurity going on there.
Yeah.
It don't take three to get the job done, trust me.
I hope not anyway.
Don't take no three. What you say? You've been married 16? It'll be 15 for me and 28. I'm over. I'm satisfied. I'm good. I'm not going nowhere.
Yeah.
Not at all. Apparently he ain't either.
And
What
if
I
I
tell my
do gotta
friends.
go somewhere, that means time to let you go and go on to the next or something. Ain't no like,
Look,
oh, I need more, I need more, I gotta have more.
thank you. I tell my husband, you fuck with me, you stuck with me. This is it. And I tell my friends, he mine till Jesus call him. That's how it is. Make me rolling his sounds and laughing, but damn straight. It's like you don't need all of that. Everybody is gonna go through their things. But if you are genuine and honest in your relationship, it don't you don't need three niggas, you don't need three females. It just don't take all that.
Now I had a little video. I wanted, at first I thought I was gonna have to try to change it, the narrative of it. But since you said that, maybe this just might be the perfect time to show it. Yes.
Okay. Like I say with them three wives, I'm like, boy, I wonder how he was doing around COVID time, because honey, them people was passing COVID and chlamydia left and right. I like, I know there was some sick souls over there.
Oh
There was some sick asses over there. That's crazy.
my God. Okay. Enjoy this.
On the screen like that. I don't
Yeah,
remember
they'll
being able to see
probably
that before.
strike me for it.
That was
But
pretty
yeah,
cool. So you be on
yeah,
TikTok? I have a TikTok account. I don't really be on social media a lot anymore. I'm
yeah.
tired.
So when you spoke of that, about one man should be enough for a woman just as one woman should be enough for a man, and him saying how he lose control when she's not next to him, that means what? Is that his soulmate, or is that just his
That's how I be
support at
feeling.
that time?
We
Like,
some women, we're some emotional creatures. My husband can be downstairs, and depending on how the week been, he's like, "How you miss me?" I'm right downstairs because I do. It just depends, and sometimes I don't. It just depends.
right,
I'm
right.
sorry, my allergies is kicking my tail.
My husband works every day.
This one
And
does
I'm
too.
so used to being in this house by myself. When he's home, I get a whole attitude. I'm like, come on, what?
Cause it don't take but a second for him to work your nerves.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, why are you? Because he get to talking, and I'm trying to look at a movie. I'm trying to do some
Uh-huh.
YouTube,
Cause
and I'm
he
like,
catching up for the stuff he hadn't been able to say to you.
I don't want to hear it.
I be trying to be nice. It's funny though. We go through that sometimes too. I'm
Uh,
like, not right now, honey, not right now. Oh, you miss me, but now you know you can't listen.
it's
But
like his
yeah.
birthday was Wednesday, and he was off.
Oh.
And I'm looking at him. I said, "Don't you want to go to work?"
Now cookie, that's too much. I feel you.
I didn't even
You
say nothing about his birthday because he's Muslim, so he doesn't celebrate
okay?
birthdays anyway.
Got you. Okay.
So
Yeah, in
I'm
that
like,
case, go on to work so I can celebrate your birthday.
yeah. He says, "Well," he says, "Well," because for the last 3 weeks he's been taking off on Wednesday, and I'm thinking to myself, now was he setting that up because he probably calculated the days, and be like, okay, my birthday's coming up on a Wednesday, and I was like, he's like, well, you always say I work too much. I said, so why are you like? You could have went to work today. Though it's your birthday.
Oh.
I told you I was in my space. I was trying to do my me time, my freedom time, and that, like
Now, what do you like to do, like when you're trying to do your me time? What's something that brings peace to you?
watching a good movie, but not a movie. I like to watch series. I like to binge watch on series.
Okay, yeah, I like the binge watch series too, but here lately I've watched some really good new movies and old movies. Have you
Mhm.
seen Sins of Our Mother with Jill Scott or
No,
Sins of the Mother? What was that on? I think
what is on?
it might have, let me look it up. It might have been on Tubi. Did I see that on Tubi or something else or Peacock? Let me see.
So he says,
It's
"Sins
called
of Our Mother."
Sins. Let me see. It might be Sins of the Mother. I'm about to Google it real quick from my iPad. It was really good. While I'm looking that up, have you seen The Beekeeper?
The Beekeeper. Are
That was
these on
on.
TV?
This was on Prime Video, The Beekeeper, and it's really, really good. It was action packed.
Beekeeper and Sins of
Hmm.
Mother.
Let me looking up the Sins of Mother. That was really good.
Um,
Because I know it's Sins of Our Mother, but I think this one was called Sins of the Mother. I'll have it for you in just a second. It was super good. It
yeah,
came out in
usually
2010 with Jill Scott, and it was a good story.
Scott.
You can watch it on Tubi for free. It's on Tubi.
See, I
Sins
don't
of
like
the Mother.
Tubi because I
Hun-
don't like no
No,
commercial.
it's I don't like commercials either, but it's I promise you, it's worth it. It's an hour and 30 minutes. It's a drama.
Okay,
It's a good movie, honey. And I love me some Jill Scott. If you loved her and Why Did I Get Married, you're gonna love her in this movie.
really? Okay, I'm
Yes,
gonna watch that tonight. Well,
it
I don't
was
know. I'm
really
gonna
good.
try because JoJo I think is going coming on at 9:15, so I'll probably be over there. Have you watched Your Honor on Netflix?
Mm. That's a
It's
series,
really good.
and it's called Your Honor. Let me make
Your
some notes
Honor,
because look, you know these winter months coming
really
up.
good.
I'll be binge watching stuff.
Um, and I think it's 2 seasons.
Okay.
And I just watched yesterday. Was it 3 seasons? And it was called As the Crow Flies. And I was
Really,
shocked
that's a
that I really
Netflix.
liked it. It had a nice little. It kind of made me think about YouTube. How I shouldn't say this. I'm sorry. I love y'all all out there in YouTube land.
Say it.
How you backstab. You're doing anonymous. What they call DM, a chat on the internet, because people are trying to get to be the first place at this news channel, a channel news.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
this young girl that going after this lady that's been in like 30 years, 20 years, and she thinks she can do the job better than her. It's oh my god, it's
That sound like YouTube to me.
baby. I was like, at first when I said, okay, let me just see what this is about. I could not go to sleep. I was falling asleep with it on, and I had to come back. Okay, where did I go? I got to go back a couple of episodes because I probably fell asleep for two of the
If
episodes.
people act civilized, what they don't realize is if everybody acts civilized and got along, everybody's channel would grow.
Hmm.
But when you cause division and confusion with nonsense, like you said, backstabbing, 1 minute this person you cool with, the next minute you're not, you over here, you over there.
Uh-huh.
Just what is it even about? I don't even, to be honest, I don't know where anything even originated from. I initially came on YouTube trying to keep up with the R. Kelly case, and then
Right.
so much other stuff just spilled over into that. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I played in the circus for a while, but I wasn't in that arena too long. I mean,
Mhm.
because it's just, I'm not about to be doing all that. I ain't, how can you think about anything in life when you spending all your energy on somebody you've never met?
Right. I came over
Make that
the
make
same
sense.
reason, R. Kelly information. I am a supporter, but in the years of being, I have came across good people. It didn't matter
On
the
both
side you was
sides.
on. I don't care. That's your personal, opinion and choice,
Cookie,
who you support and not support. You as a person, girl, Melanie, I don't know which side you on. I
I
never
don't
intended.
support him, but this is my thing. Like you just said, I believe he's where he needs to be. If he needs to be free, that's between him and God. I don't hate the man. I have not burned any of my CDs. I have not deleted any of my catalog. This is my thing. I've never seen anything like this in the world. When I start commenting in chats or whatever, people was posting their opinion. I thought we were posting opinion. But then people would start attacking you because your opinion was different than theirs. And I was like, or did I step into the sandbox? Like,
Right.
really?
Yeah.
It's okay. You can support him and say how you feel and you don't agree with this and that is totally fine. I respect your opinion. That just means we can talk about him, but it's just like I don't have to argue with you and call you out of your name because your opinion and your feelings and your thoughts is different than mine.
Right.
I don't
That's
understand that.
I met a few women's on Oko, which I only know they're Oko because they got their name connected to it.
Right.
Queen Diva, Just Big. Love those women. Love those women. And
Yes,
I
D
know
is sweet.
they're-
I
I'm
love divas.
that has nothing to do with how I see you as a person, as a woman. You
And
know,
so many other topics that we may not agree on this one, but there's so much other stuff that we can talk about that we may agree with, you
right.
know?
I have a friend near her. Now we haven't spoken because of this, but every time we would get together and I would, I play R. Kelly in my car. We get in the car. She's like, "Can you cut that out and give it a?" No, this is my car. If I want to play R. Kelly, and so I asked her, I was like, "Tell me why you think he's guilty." And the only thing she can give me, like I said, everybody got their reason why they think he's guilty, why they think he's not guilty. Her only
Mhm.
reason was Aaliyah.
Okay,
But she was
got
Spanish.
you.
Spanish women, they love
But you
Aaliyah.
know what? And I always say this, Cookie. People ask me that too. Why do I think that? I feel like had I not seen that tape, it may
Mhm.
have been a little bit harder, and I would have felt like because when we were younger and the initial accusations came out, I did feel like they was trying to take a black man down and he was being railroaded. But we
Mhm.
didn't have all the information.
Right.
Once and we're older now. Wasn't I don't know anybody from back then that was paying attention to the details of what was going on with him like that. We was
Right.
living life. Like when COVID came, we had time and oh my goodness, I was so shocked by the extra additional stuff. I had no intention of even watching Surviving R. Kelly. They kept talking about it at work. Cause
Mhm.
I don't it's like I love music. I have some artists I love music, but I don't have time to be a fan. I'm a fan of my husband. I'm a fan of my
Right.
family. I'm a fan of my kids. I don't have time to be fanned out about no damn celebrity. All you
Right.
know is that they have talent. They make good music. We don't know what anybody does when they get off this stage. Just like a pastor in a pulpit, he could preach a good ass sermon on Sunday and be over here serving Sadie Sucker so and so on Monday. I mean,
Exactly.
seriously,
My
and that
daughter bought me so
happens.
many CDs of R. Kelly before all this came out, and when it came out, she was felt like he was guilty. But guess what? She said, "But I'm still listening to his music, mom. But he need to be in jail." So even though,
I'm not burning nothing. I will say this, Cookie, about his music. Some stuff is a little harder to listen to after paying attention and learning more details about stuff, but he's in everything. You cannot mute him. I listen to gospel while I'm working. I work 7 to 3:30. My day starts at 5:45 in the morning. When I get up, I'm meditating. I set my music I'm listening to. I hear him several times a day through the gospel songs I'm listening to. I listen to everything. He is everywhere. He's in
Exactly.
every genre. You cannot take his talent away from him at all. Like I said, when I first started hearing that stuff or whatever, and I didn't believe it, and then when Surviving R. Kelly came up, I wanted to know more. And so the first thing I did was go read that book, and I was like, it makes sense. He's a victim too, but you shouldn't victimize anybody else. He's a victim. If I was him, honey, my sister would be in jail.
Right.
She'd be in jail. You ain't my sister no more. She made you a monster. That's
And
not
that's the
fair.
part I try to give you. I'm not taking away anything that he may be guilty of, but can we look at too? He was a victim as well as a child,
He was.
and
As,
understanding why
and
he
as an adult, because everybody around him took from him. No, who was there telling him right and trying to help him? Even if they cut him off, nobody, y'all, there was nothing y'all could do to get this person help. And I know people were stubborn, but nobody,
right,
everybody helped themselves to his money.
right,
And he did himself a disservice by not learning how to read because people out here got his royalties and their name and so much stuff that he's not even aware of.
exactly,
That whole situation is crazy. I'm trying to get my words right. I don't lack compassion for what he went through as a child. It disturbs me for any child to have to go through that. And he was victimized by his family, not only his sister but his mother. When his mother took that money from someone that you knew violated your child, I don't give a damn how broke I am. The last thing in this world I'm gonna do is exploit my child.
right,
I'm gonna walk through fire for my child, but am I gonna hand you my child and you're gonna no, honey? My one of my daughters, my oldest daughter, one of her teachers wrote something inappropriate in her yearbook. I didn't wait to tell my husband. I didn't wait to tell my brothers and nobody. I went up to that school and I was so upset. There was nothing he could say to me. You don't say nothing. I wish I had that yearbook. I don't know if I got rid of it or what. But he put two of his phone numbers in it. She was in like the seventh grade, and made a comment something about smacking her on her ass, and it made me mad because I knew my child was vulnerable anyway. Like I said, I had her when I was 15. Her dad was. We were teenagers. Her daddy wasn't in her life at first all the way like that. He was immature. He was supposed to be. We was kids.
right,
My family was different from his. I was going to do what I was supposed to do, and I was going to be a good mother if I wanted to or not. Nobody in my family was not going for me to fail, not at all. But long story short, I knew, she was looking for love and a father. My husband was, we were dating, but still, that wasn't her dad. And this man and prayed on her. He tried to pray on her. He didn't. Thank God, he didn't get a chance to do anything to her. But it's sickening that it's people out there like that. And I was so overprotective and cautious. I didn't play the game. Oh, you watch my kids this weekend and I watch yours. Nobody had my kids but me.
right.
If they weren't with me, then they were with their dad. Or I had a cousin that I trusted, but I didn't spend my life in my 20s and all of that right away in clubs and stuff. I was at Chuck E. Cheese. I was at Disney. I was with my kids, even my nieces. I was with my kids. It's too many predators out here. And as parents, we do our best. Some people, their kids may have been touched and it wasn't anything that they could prevent. They may have sent, it may have been a caretaker that did something to them.
Right.
But your mother took your child's life was worth $5,000.
Right.
There's no way in hell. That makes me so angry about her. And I think,
You there? You there?
hold on,
Hello?
can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you? Okay, sorry, my earpiece died. I gotta find a case for it. But yeah, but that was disgusting. His sister done changed her name. She living her life. She knows she need to be in jail.
Mm,
I believe that wholeheartedly that she did everything that R. Kelly and his brother said that she did to them. But you know what? Somebody did it to her. And somebody did it to his mother. They say that's a sickness in their family. That's crazy.
yeah. I just Like so, when his whole case was over, I still support him and I wish him well and pray that I just I said I don't talk. I'm not going to be having no discussions like what we're doing now is fine, but as far as to have a platform about it, because it's about moving on. It's in God's hands. It's in His lawyer's hands. Us, yeah, we can
Exactly.
share this, and if you want to talk about it, keep people updated on stuff. But now it's time for us to come together as people.
Mm-hmm.
As
Hold on
people.
1 second.
But I truly enjoyed this conversation. Um, I enjoyed everyone that came into the chat. DB Wild, if you're still there, I appreciate you. I'm mad at you, but he trying to grow up on me, girl Melanie. I don't know what his problem is lately. He
What he doing? Oh, he working or
trying to
something?
divorce me. He trying to divorce me.
He trying to divorce. DV, why you being shady? Why you didn't click the link? You too good? We know you only 4'11". Look, I know.
You wish.
We know you only 4'11" with your shoes on.
If he was 4'11", he might be able to have a little bit of game. Because that's
That
how
was
the
hilarious.
sport played out. He need to get to 4'11". So that day he got a new little line to say they might, that brings him down a little bit to the level we need him to be at.
Mm-mm. But yeah, you're right. People gonna discuss this case forever. I mean, it's sad. And then look with Diddy, I said, you know what? I don't even want to know. I'm not getting involved in another case. I don't want to know all those details. It's
Right.
sad. It's sad. I cannot even with this YSL and all these cases. I'm just like I cannot because it's crazy.
Because guess what? After them, it'll be another one and another one
Hmm.
and another one.
Exactly. Have you ever, I watched something, was this on Tubi? It may have been a Tubi. It was called Jasper, Texas. Do you remember the guy down in Jasper, Texas that tried to hitchhike a ride home and three members of the Ku Klux Klan gave him a ride and they chained him by his feet and drug him for 3 miles?
Yes.
I remember hearing about that, but I don't think I paid that much attention. So there's a movie on Tubi, and we watched it last weekend. Oh my goodness, that hurt my heart.
So
I'm
they
like,
did a
how?
more moderate, updated version of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it came out a while ago. You know, some of the movies is old, but I had never saw it. I'm like,
It's
that's
called Jasper.
crazy. How can you do that to somebody?
What's it called?
Jasper, Texas.
Jasper, Texas. Okay.
Hmm. It was sad. Like towards the end, the one of both of so I never knew what happened to the guys either. So it was three white guys. Two of them died from lethal injection, and the other one got life in prison. And what really touched me is one of the guys that killed the black guy went to the father and was apologizing and saying how sorry he was that his son did something to make his child die. He was like, I didn't raise him that way. And it was such a touching scene. The father touched the other father and he was like, man, it's not your fault. He said, you're just another father who lost his child because that man was losing his kid too because he got sentenced to lethal injection. I'm just like, wow. It was a powerful scene. It was crazy.
Maybe I need to start watching Tubi. Like I said, I watch a few of the movies
It's
on there, but because of the commercials, I'm like, oh my god.
hmm I watch a little bit of everything. I hate you like my husband, he hate commercials and stuff too. I'm just like, I just do that's my moment to unwind. I have ADHD anyway. Sometimes I have to watch something more than once because I miss certain scenes or whatever. I'm serious. He'd be like, "You don't pay attention to nothing." That's because I'll be doing 50 things at a time. Right now, I'm actually sitting on the floor. I have my other YouTube on that I'm not signed into. And do you ever like you turn on like the fireplaces or search like background ambience on YouTube?
Uh-uh.
Oh, try that. It's relaxing. So I have my office. I have LED lights going around the ceiling. And then if you go on YouTube and like type in blue ambiance or pink or white or something, it pulls up different little stations where it shows like it may be a beach, it may be a ocean, it may be a city, and it's just giving aerial views. I like chill stuff like that and listen to jazz sometimes. That's how I unwind. I love music and all kinds. My husband said I'm crazy because I love country, I love rock and roll, I love a little bit of everything. I just
Uh-huh.
love music.
I do
Just
too. I
And
do.
it depends on what kind of mood I'm in, what type of music I'm gonna listen to.
Hmm. Yeah, music takes me to a whole different
It's
space,
therapeutic.
huh?
I said it's very therapeutic.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Wow.
Mhm.
Well, girl, Mel, I sure appreciate you. I hope I see you again. I'm
No
gonna.
problem. I'll try to pop back in.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get back to my normal because, like I said, I used to try at least 2 or 3 um, videos a week, and then and I need to get back to what.
You do what you need to in your time. And the most I'll try to catch you and stuff like sometimes on Friday or Saturdays. It just depends on what's going on. This is a Friday. I'm in the house, so I had time or whatever. But I'm getting ready to go take a shower, watch a movie, and talk to the old man.
Yeah, give him a little bit of time. Okay, well,
Yeah.
thank you. I love you, and God bless you. You enjoy your
God
weekend.
bless you too. I'll talk to you later. Bye,
Hello,
chat.
bye. I'm so busy. Bye. Thank you, Purple Purple. How are you? God bless you. Um, I'm not gonna stay on too much longer because my brother JoJo has a live planned for 9:15, and I want to get me something to eat. I haven't eaten nothing all day, but watermelon. Did I eat today? Oh, I did have a hot sausage earlier today, around 12 o'clock for lunch. But I appreciate you all. I hope that y'all got something out of this live, and that it's okay. It's okay to have that self freedom. It's okay to say I need time. I need to focus on me. I need to step back and do me. Because like I said, if nothing else, our mental and our spirituality needs it. It needs it for us to be able to be there for other people, the ones that we love. And sometimes, even for the ones we may not love. I love you all. I do have. Oh, DB. What you cooking, DB? What are you cooking? Huh? Hurry up. And you got what? Do you still got some big macaroni and cheese left? Because if so, I'll drive up here tomorrow to come get me some. Wait a minute, how many days that been? That shit may not be no good now. And I forgot to call mama and tell her what you did to that pot. I don't think I forgot. I'm gonna blackmail you on that one. But I truly enjoy. Uh, you're not sharing. You're not sharing what you cooking tonight, or you're not sharing your baked macaroni and cheese. What are you cooking, boy? Don't make me look. Don't make me. You know I will. I will call Mama Wow Wow. You know I will. I'm trying. What do I gotta take? I gotta taste for some cabbage. I haven't had cabbage. Oh my god, probably about a month or so. The mac been gone. It was too. I bet it was good. It looked it good. Shoot, but I know what you mean. You ain't gotta put cheese on it. I know what you mean. What else could mac be? A Big Mac? Girl, Melanie was calling for you. She want to know why your 5'11" didn't come up here and hit the panel. I told her you was trying to divorce me, but it's all good. You know what they say, right? Don't get mad when I walk away and move on. Don't be like, what happened to my cookie wookie wookie? Your cookie wookie wookie gone. But on that note, I am gonna be gone. I'm going to go over, like I said, I need to find me something to eat since DB Wild won't feed me. And go see my brother JoJo. Maybe he can put some laughter of love in my heart to fill me up. But I enjoyed y'all. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I want you all to have a blessed weekend and be safe out there. I'm going to leave y'all with my favorite song. Y'all already probably know who it is. You probably get tired of hearing her, but I don't care because I just love her because she's my cousin and she has a beautiful voice. And I think y'all love her too. At least I hope so.
Yeah, yeah. I stare at my reflection in the mirror. Why am I doing this to myself? Losing my mind on a tiny error. I nearly left the real me on the shelf. No, 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 no. Don't lose who you
Don't lose who you are,
are.
everybody.
In a bag of stars. You see it is deceiving. Dreaming is
Dreaming is
believing. It's
believing.
okay not to be
It's okay not to
okay.
be okay.
Sometimes it's hard to follow your heart. Tears don't mean you're losing. Everybody's bruising. Just be true to who you are. Hey, no, 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 no. Brushing my hair so I look perfect. I forgot what to do to fit the mold. The more I try, the less it's working. Yeah, yeah. 'Cause everything inside me screams no, 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 no. Yeah, don't lose who you are in a blur of the stars. Seeing is deceiving, dreaming is believing. It's okay not to be okay. Sometimes it's hard to follow your heart. No tears don't mean you're losing. Everybody's bruising. Nothing wrong. Yes, those egos, fake shows like whoa, just go
And leave
leave
me
me
alone.
alone. Real talk, real life, good love, good night with a smile. That's my heart. Yeah, yeah. That's my heart. Yeah. Ooh.
Hey! Blessing, Miss Hugo. Blessing, Miss Hugo.
Sometimes it's hard to follow your heart. But tears don't mean you're losing. Everybody's bruising. There's nothing wrong with who you are. Yeah. Ooh.
Thank you, Miss Fugle. You as well. God bless. Enjoy your weekend, sweetie.